So now that the Aston Villa save is done and dusted, we now need to move on to something a bit different. By the way, if you haven't seen the Aston Villa save, do go back and watch it, or try and remember to put a reminder up in this corner. But we do need to do something a little bit different. Now, the original plan was going to be a My Career save. We're going to put My Career on hold until FM25. We're going to bring it back. We're going to try and refine the formula a little bit and have some fun with that. But we're also going to do a save that I briefly touched upon at the end of that Aston Villa save, which is we are going to take a club from either the second or third tier of one of the European nations and turn them into a superpower in that particular nation. Now, I know the club I'm going to use. I've already decided it. I've already made the thumbnail. I'm ready to go with that. But I also want to do something a little bit different. So we're also going to do a slightly different save to what I've done before. Now, it's going to be about winning stuff, but it's going to be my take on the Glory Hunter style of save. So what is a Glory Hunter? Well, a Glory Hunter, as it sounds, is just trying to win everything, but trying to win it within a certain amount of time and potentially adhering to a certain set of rules. So my Glory Hunter is going to be called Chasing Glory because it has to have its own name. And the exact aim of the save, well, do you know what? Let's go over some rules. And I'm going to do that with my handy little thing that I've put to the side of me just here. So, in terms of rules, the aim of the save is exactly this: to win all of the major trophies from the top 5 European nations. That is England, that is Spain, that is Germany, that is Italy, that is France. I think I said those in a slightly different order than what they are on the screen, but you get the gist. They're the nations we're going to be aiming to conquer. But what exactly does that mean? Well, it means that we are going to be trying to conquer England's with the Premier League, the FA Cup and the Carabao Cup. In France, it's going to be Ligue 1 and the Coupe de France. In Germany, it's going to be the Bundesliga and the DFB Pokal. In Italy, it's going to be Serie A and the Coppa Italia. And in Spain, it's going to be La Liga and the Copa del Rey. But that is not all. We're also going to be trying to conquer Europe because why not? We're going to try and win the Conference League, the Europa League and the Champions League within that as well. Now you're probably thinking, but Stu, they're not the only trophies that would be available to you. What about the different types of Super Cup? The Community Shield, which we all know is the most important trophy in world football, don't you worry. We're not going to necessarily focus on those, but they are going to be a nice little bonus objective. So any Super Cups will be classed as a bonus. And also the Club World Cup as well, because if we win the Champions League early on, we might end up in it. We also might end up in it if a club that we go to has already won the Champions League and we end up there at the time of it happening. So we'd count that as well. I've put international trophies on there. I'm not going to lie. I've got no interest in international football in this particular save, but if it comes up, we'll go with it. And of course, the final question is, how long are we going to give ourselves with this? Well, there is a time limit both on the save and also with each club and with each country. So the first time limit is how long can we stay at a club? 2 seasons. Can't be there longer than 2 seasons. Now, we can spend an additional third year in a particular country to do a bit of mop-up, but only 1 more season. So it's a maximum of 3 seasons per nation, 2 seasons per club. But remember, let's say we go to Manchester United. 2 seasons there, we don't do everything. We can stay for a 3rd season at another club. So we could go to, I don't know, Arsenal, for example. But we can't stay there for 2 seasons because we've already spent 2 seasons at Man United. So 3 seasons in total at a nation, 2 seasons at a club for the first time. Does that make sense? Hopefully that makes sense. But in terms of the actual save as a whole, the aim is 10 seasons. If it goes over 10 seasons, it will be classed as a failure. But we will go until 12 seasons if we have to, just to see if we can kind of push it. I mean, yeah, sure. Basically, I just want to see if I can do it within that time period. But we'll class that as a failure. But we will stop after 12 seasons. After that, wherever we're at is wherever we are at. So what club are we going to start this save with? Well, this is an interesting little thing that I've been thinking about, because it almost feels like the way you should do it is start with the smaller club in the Conference League, work your way up to the Europa League, and then work your way up to the bigger trophies. However, actually, because we're going to be starting as a club of our choice and then applying for jobs, that could throw a bit of a spanner in the works, because we need to make sure we can actually get those bigger jobs. So is it better to start with a bigger club and then work our way from there through the different nations and then work our way back to the Europa League and Europa Conference League? Do we almost do things a little bit in reverse? So it's quite strategic thinking of that first club. Maybe we do it like that, or maybe we go for a Conference League club, try and get as good a place in the league as possible for them, get them into the Europa League the season after, and try and challenge for the league at the same time. There's so many different variables with that make it quite an interesting thing in terms of picking that first club. I mean, thinking of the first club as well, I've been debating what country to start in. Now, 2 countries I'm actually ruling out as the first club, and it might sound a bit weird, are England and Italy. Now, the reason why I've ruled those out is because they have a lot of clubs that are considered to be top clubs that could win titles. You look at England, Arsenal have got a good enough squad to win a trophy. They've got decent finances behind them as well. You can say the same about United, Chelsea, City, Liverpool, even Spurs, for goodness sake. Villa, look at what they're doing in real life this season. So there's so many different teams who could win something in England. There's a plethora that we don't have to focus on 1 or 2. Same kind of in Italy. The Milans, Juventus. I mean, you could say Napoli definitely. Roma, if they get decent kind of oomph behind them. There's so many teams in Italy as well. But look at the other nations. You've got Bayern Munich in Germany. Okay, Dortmund maybe. Not Leipzig. Leverkusen having a good season. Leipzig are always kind of a bit of a rogue one. But then you look at France. France have got one team that win everything. Every now and then another club comes up, but really it is only one club. And then you look at Spain. It's Real Madrid, Barcelona. Every now and then Atleti might have something to say about it. So those nations are the ones I'm thinking to start with, because quite frankly, they're the ones where it's probably going to be a bit trickier to try and get a job there in the future, because we're going to have to hope one of those very few jobs comes up. So where do we go to start? That is the question. I mean, again, I've ruled out England, I've ruled out Italy. We're going to ignore those completely to begin with. So where do we start, and where do we seek to make an impact first? Spain have 3 clubs that we could potentially go to. So I'm kind of thinking, do we maybe push Spain to the side a little bit for now, and we come back to them? Germany have 1 massive club, and then a couple of other clubs that can do the job. France have a big club, and then again a couple that maybe can do the job but not really. But really, for these 2 countries, we either want PSG or Bayern Munich. They're the 2. However, with Germany, if Dortmund becomes available, that's an option. If Leipzig becomes an option, that's available. If Leverkusen become an option, that's available. I'm saying those the wrong way around. You know what I mean? Basically, I feel like there's more clubs in Germany, but then France, I don't know, Monaco maybe? Maybe Lyon, maybe Marseille, I don't know. It's a difficult one. It's a really, really difficult one to kind of make that decision. I think we go PSG. I'm thinking we go PSG. I know it's a bit of an obvious one, but for the reasons that I've mentioned, later on in the save, there's going to be multiple clubs in Italy and in England that we can go to where we can win things. And because there's so many of those clubs, some of them might even be in the lower competitions that they shouldn't really be in, but that will give us a good opportunity to win stuff. And then there's more options in Spain than there are in France and Germany. Germany, maybe you could argue there's 1 or 2 more options than there are in France. Yeah, I think we go Paris Saint-Germain. I think that's what we're going to do. I'm also going to play it with the squads as they are at the moment. So I'm not going to go into real world mode. I'm going to go in original mode. We're going to just have all of the transfers that have been made in real life, and we're going to work from there. I think that makes the most sense to do. I think we're going to do that. And hopefully, with Paris Saint-Germain, we can blast everything out in one season. It shouldn't be too difficult. Maybe the Champions League is going to be the one that we won't do. But if we can blast everything out in one season, I think that could be the option. By the way, you can see Real Madrid in the background, because originally I was considering Real Madrid. I have actually changed my mind on that, and we're going to do Paris Saint-Germain instead, as I've just decided on camera. So that is what we're going to do, I think, and we're going to do it on original mode as mentioned before. So we'll see what the finances look like, and then we'll start things off in a new video. So let me just get the save set up, and there it is, official. Paris Saint-Germain is the first club of chasing glory. I've even changed my little sign over there as well to show that. I don't know about rectify, but we are here, and this is going to be the first club that we're going to be taking over, and hopefully we're going to have a lovely, lovely time here as well. I'm going to go through all of this and have a look at what we need to do to the squad in order to try and make it better in the first video officially of this part of the save. So again, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this save. It is a bit different. I've not done one of these before on the channel. I've not even done one of these in spare time before, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But remember the key points. We're going to try and win everything in the top 5 European nations in football. We're going to try and win absolutely everything at club level. We're going to try and win everything at continental level in European competitions as well. We've got 10 seasons to do it, 12 at a push, but that will still be considered a failure. And we can't be with a club for more than 2 years, and we can't be with a country for more than 3 years. Oh boy, I think this is going to be a bit of a challenge. Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed and you're looking forward to part 1 of PSG, do not forget to leave a big like on the video and don't forget to subscribe. It is completely free to do so and you'll make me a very happy chap. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in episode 1 of PSG. Cheers.